something that people don't understand, and it bothers me that people don't understand it, is that the government is a reason why college education costs as much as it does. People keep saying that the government should make it free, which is no such thing as free. But the government should pay for a free education for all. See, now, the reason why you pay so much is because the government and their unlimited money, which we know it's limited, but, it's just they have so much of it that they can spend that you could say it's unlimited in a sense. What do you think will happen if 90% of the people in this country could not afford to go to college? Like, what do you think would happen? Do you think colleges, there's thousands of universities in this country. There's thousands of universities. What do you think would happen to the cost if nobody was going there? If the government wasn't guaranteeing loans. See, with the government guaranteeing loans, these schools don't care if you major in underwater basket weaving or if you're going to waste, thousands of dollars on a degree that you'll never use, because they're guaranteed to get their money by the government. If there was no guarantee, if the government stopped funding college and stopped backing these loans and all of that stuff, then yes, obviously less people will be able to go to college. But as a result, the price of admission will change drastically to fit what people can afford. Otherwise, these colleges would literally just sit empty and lose billions of dollars every year. It's not that hard to figure out. The government makes things worse when they show up. They do. Their intentions may be good, but they make things worse. You cannot sit here and tell me that if the government stopped backing student loans, stop guaranteeing these loans, you cannot tell me that these colleges will be able to survive on being empty, because 90% of people wouldn't be able to afford it without these kind of loans. Obviously, there are people that get private loans too, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know anything about school and all that stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Think about it this way. If it's not guaranteed, like, let's think about it this way. If you were making a payment to, like, let's say a car dealership. If you were making a payment to a car dealership, number one, you as an individual, if you were paying with your own money that you had to take out of your pocket, let's say every month, let's say you had to pay every month, if you were taking money out of your own pocket, you're going to be wise in what you buy. You're not going to just buy the fanciest car that you know you can't afford and risk losing it and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to count the cost. You're going to get just what you need. Most people, some people probably get something that they can't afford or whatever, but that's on them. Now, you take that same person, you take that same person and you say, hey, you've been approved for a loan of $90,000. Do you think that they're going to shop for a car differently now that they've been approved for $90,000? Yes, they will. Yes, I will. Yes, you will. There's only a handful of us that would actually still have like the self-restraint and discipline to buy just what we need, just what we can afford. See, when it's not your money, or when you don't have to face the repercussions of it right away, like when this comes to loans and like houses, cars, education, these people don't have to pay this stuff back for years. And it's not their money, it's someone else's money. So they don't have the same care and concern. They won't have the same caution. If the government didn't back these student loans, you would have way less people getting unnecessary degrees that they know they're not going to use, or just changing their majors constantly. No, you would have people actually on their grind. You would have less people there. You would have less people that, like, I guess, could really use that education, But you would also have less clowns. You would have less people wasting money. And I just don't understand how people think that, the more, like, imagine this. The more people that the government sponsors with a free education, the more people you're going to get there wasted. Like, people keep wanting these policies with this weird and stupid idea that people are just awesome people and they always have the best intentions. You can't act like every time you create a entitlement for somebody, you're going to have people that it's going to benefit, and then you're going to have people that are going to take advantage of it. That's with anything. I used to work at a job, and they used to have vending machines in the sodas. They had canned sodas. Canned sodas were $0.25. And I'm not talking about, back in the day in the 60s or whatever. No, this was like in the 2000s, 2012, 2011. They had quarter sodas. How many times do you think somebody bought a canned soda, name brand soda, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, all that, not that little Mountain Holla or whatever? How many times do you think sodas were bought and half drunk or barely drunk and thrown away because they were only 25 cents? A lot. It's not the same as if you had to pay I don't even know what they cost now. A canned soda today can cost like 75 cents, 90 cents, $1, whatever. People aren't going to do that. But when it's cheap and easily available, people waste it. They don't value it. Same thing is going to happen with these educations. If you open up and you make the government pay for college for everybody, you're going to have a whole bunch of people sign up for courses who are not going to take them, who don't care to finish them, who are going to flunk out. And yeah, on the flip side, you could have a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't go to college, maybe go to college and excel. But you can't just look at those people and ignore those who are going to waste billions of government money, billions of your tax money, simply because they're doing something just because it's there. If there's free food out somewhere, and this is just all talking about human nature. I'm bringing up all these different things, so I want you to understand human nature. If there's free food out somewhere, free pizza, right? How many people do you think are going to eat pizza even though they may not be hungry because it's free? A lot of people are going to do that. Like, that's just human nature. That's how humans do. We take advantage of stuff, and we take stuff for granted, and we use and abuse stuff. That's what humans do. So this idea that the government should give everyone free education and it's going to suddenly lead to this magical, wonderful land of success is just stupid. It's just literally just dumb. Like, you can't think that and be really thinking with your head. You're not looking at human nature. You can't base policies off of ideas of what I wish the world was like. You got to look at how people really are and how the world really is. The other thing is that not only would the price of colleges go down if the government stopped backing these loans. If the government guarantees more loans and more people to go to college, what do you think is going to happen to the cost of admission? It's going to go up. They're going to say, oh, the demand is higher now. More people are more qualified. Therefore, we can charge more. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So if you're complaining about what your student loans are now and everything, what do you think the cost of education is going to be if the government guarantees even more that these schools get their money? See, these schools don't care if you flunk out or not because they guaranteed to get their money. That's how it goes. And you may say, well, I won't be paying for it, so, it's not that big of a deal. It's free. It's not free. It's just your taxes. Where are they going to get the money from? They're going to get it from the citizens. So your taxes are going to jump dramatically. Same thing with Medicare. You want Medicare for all? Be prepared to pay a whole bunch of taxes. You want free college for all? Be prepared to pay a whole bunch of taxes. And don't complain about it. Now, if you're a person that today, you try your hardest to pay as little taxes as possible, and you really try your hardest to get all these deductions and all that, don't be that guy that does that, and then you're advocating for all these things that's going to raise everybody's taxes. It's not free. You got to pick one. So I can understand somebody being for all that stuff. I can understand someone saying, hey, you know, taxation is theft, blah, blah, blah. But you can't do both. You got to pick one. If the government says free education for all, and if you look at all the, this country does it and that country does it, I guarantee you they all pay higher taxes than what you do here as an American. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And all these countries that people claim as socialist countries, like Denmark and Sweden, they pay high taxes. They pay high taxes. So the whole idea of the government giving away free education, just look at public schools. The government gives away free education with public schools. How well is that working out? Does that guarantee success for everybody? Is a public school so awesome because the government's providing for everybody that everyone's successful? Like, no, all the stuff you complain about, inequality and all of that stuff, you're still going to have it. It's not going to change anything. You're just going to pay more. You're going to pay more for what you want, and you're going to be paying for what somebody else wants. You're going to be paying for somebody else's education.